Hello everybody, I'm Thomas, and welcome to another solo playthrough. This time, I'm back with some KeyForge. I'm going to be fighting the Keyraken again. I fought them a while back on one of my solo gaming Sunday streams, which I'll link up there. And it didn't go so well. I used a sealed deck, and I lost. So this time, I'm back with revenge, and hopefully a better deck. I did a bit of research. There's this great website called Decks of KeyForge. I'll link it down in the description. It's this website where you can upload your decks and get some stats on them. And so I did that with this deck being the Survivor who fairly delivers taxes. And I was going through my decks and looking for, there's like different criteria decks get categorized under. And I was mainly looking for a deck that had good amber, expected amber, so I know I could forge my 3 keys. I wanted good amber control to try to prevent the Keyraken from forging and it's surfacing. And then the last thing is it needs good effective power so I can actually defeat the Keyraken and its enemies. So this deck seems to fill all those requirements. It's also my second highest SAS deck that I have. SAS is a general metric for how good a deck is overall. It's not a great, no, I think it's a great system. It's not perfect, but I think it's a good way to, at least at a glance, get an idea of what a deck is capable of. So hopefully I'll have some luck with this deck. Let's just see how it goes. So let me give this a quick shuffle up. The main houses in this, we got Logos, Sanctum, and Untamed. The Sanctum has some really good cards. The armor is super helpful. There's some really good cards in this deck in general. Some fun combos that I really think screws with the Keyraken. And if I could get some particular cards out at the beginning, especially in the Logos house, I think I could be in a really good position. So with the Keyraken, I go first. So let me draw my starting hand of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit. Also, new camera. Hopefully everything is a bit more clear because yeah, I got a new overhead camera, so hopefully things look a bit more clear. And as you see, my background's a bit different because I'm sitting in front of my gaming shelf where I got my box over there and I got my fuzzy Gruin over there. I'm ready to roll. So I can mulligan. I don't think I'm going to because that's a pretty strong Untamed start. The Untamed is okay in this deck. I like the Logos the best, but the Untamed also just has some really good combos with the beasts, creatures, the mutant creatures. This is a mass mutation deck, and the mutant creatures have some very strong synergy in this deck. So that's one thing I'm going to be looking out for. So I'll keep the starting hand. I'm all right with it. Let me go ahead and choose Untamed as my starting house and play my 3 Untamed creatures. So I'll play the Sniffle Ape in the center, I guess. I guess it doesn't matter too much. Well, they're more friendly. Okay, so this guy increases the key cost for the Keyraken. Keyraken. I think I like Keyraken. And maybe it's Keyraken, I don't know. And then I'll play that guy who steals an amber, but or captures, but I don't. There's no amber for me to capture from the Keyraken. So that's it for my first turn. Gonna ready everybody up. Draw back to 6 cards. Okay. Got another Logos and another Sanctum card. Okay. That's something. To the Keyraken's turn now. They're gonna draw 2 cards. First one is a Crushing Arm. So go up top and be exhausted. Next thing is a Slippery Arm. Also up there, exhausted. I played against the Keyraken toast in this deck a few times. It seemed to do a pretty good job. It was crazy though. Whenever I played against them, they hardly had no creatures the entire game. But right off the bat with this game, there's 2 creatures. So maybe this game will go a completely different direction. Who knows? But with those both ready, neither can be used. The Keyraken can reap to gain an amber. Besides that, that's all they can do for their first turn. So it's back to me. They can't forge, so I don't really need to worry about raising the tide at least this turn. I'll call Logos. I'll go Logos. Play this Neuro Siphon, which will gain me an amber. If the opponent has more amber than me, steal 1 amber and draw a card. Unfortunately, they don't, because this gives me an amber, so we're tied now. I'll play this Infomorph. I'll play them over there. I don't need to do my armory strategy yet. And then I'll play Opposition Research, so they cannot reap next turn. And that's all I can really do. So that's it for my turn. Drawing back up to 6 cards. I have some, okay, what I got? Half Untamed, half Sanctum. Because that always brings up the interesting question. It's like right now I don't have any board control with Sanctum, so it's like I could, on my turn, go Sanctum, get some of that down, or I could just go Untamed and play a bit more aggressive. We'll see, maybe after this turn, see what the Keyraken does. So they're going to be drawing 2 cards. The first one, for the remainder of the turn, the Keyraken gains Skirmish and Prey, fight the least powerful creature. So I'm just going to leave that out here. So it fights the least powerful creature. So one nice thing about this deck that I found with fighting the Keyraken is almost every creature in this deck is a 4 power creature, which means that most of them, when it says choose the most or least powerful, I could just choose any of them, and I get to kind of pick and choose. In this case, that is not the situation because the Niffle Ape is the weakest, so they're going to be going down, but whatever. They had Skirmish, so they didn't take any damage in return, and then they get to play another Slippery Arm. So, okay. Now I need to remember what the order is for what the Keyraken does stuff. I kind of forget. So they draw, then it uses itself and its creatures, then artifacts. So it's going to fight again the least powerful creature. And it gets Skirmish, so it's not taking any damage in return. I guess I'll have it attack the Infomorph. I guess. Then this creature is going to be used. It would Reap, but I played my opposition research, so it won't this turn. Over to this one, it's going to attack the least powerful creature. So once again, I get to choose. This isn't a great choice, but I guess I'll have it attack the Infomorph. It sucks that I'm going to be gaining the Amber, but both of these have nice abilities that I would like to keep, so yeah, I'll give them their Amber back. The Infomorph will go down. Luckily, they will be able to do damage in return, so start working away on that Crushing Arm, which will be nice to get that out of the way. I think that's it for the Keyraken's turn, because they fought. Yeah, so we're good. Back to me. Like I said, I could either try to get some Sanctum board presence, or I could just go a bit more Untamed. I think I'm going to go Untamed. Might be a bad idea. I'm going to play a bit more aggressively. So I'll play this Untamed card. I'll call Untamed, Reclaim by Nature to purge an artifact. There's no artifacts to purge, but I'll still play it for the Amber Pip. At this point, I'll play that guy, Exhausted, and then I'll play Vault's Blessing, which gives me an Amber, lets me draw a card, Sanctum, and then I also get each player gains 1 Amber for each mutant creature they control. They control no mutant creatures, I control 3. So I am now at 6, which means I could forge next turn if I wanted. Which I might. I don't need to lower the tide now because they're not at a risk of forging. So I think I'm okay. I'm sitting actually in a pretty good position. I kind of just want to start taking out some of these. Unfortunately, both of these, see if I can zoom in a little bit. Both of these Slippery Arms are elusive, so attacking them, it's going to be tough. I think I just wanted to maybe try to outpace the Keyraken, because I can't take down the Crushing Arm. It would take down both of these guys. I want to keep them for their abilities. So unfortunately, not unfortunately, but you can't see I was pointing to my 2 guys. Yeah, I'm just going to Reap with both, gain 2 Amber, and I think I'll immediately spend that Amber to raise the tide. I like having a high tide. Some of the Keyraken's cards vary depending on if the tide is high or tide is low. And I think generally, from what I found, if the tide can be high, it should be, so... that's it. I have no chains, so I'm drawing back up to 6. I have this chain tracker right here because I'm pretty bad about forgetting chains. So back to the Keyraken. They definitely cannot ascend to the next level, so they'll be drawing their 2 cards. Primordial, okay. And Primordial, okay. They got double Primordial. That sucks, but unfortunately it's only going to trigger for 1 turn, so it's not the worst. So they're going to use, the Keyraken is going to go, it's going to Reap, and because of Primordial, it's going to archive 2 adventure cards. That's brutal. That's brutal. And now it's going to use each of its creatures. I'm curious, does it go left to right, or does it not matter? Okay, it does go left to right. Okay, my bad. So Slippery Arm is going to Reap, and this is going to Reap, so it's going to gain 2 Amber, so it's sitting at 4. And then this is going to attack the least powerful flank creature. I think I didn't realize that was supposed to attack flank creature. I think I might have messed that up last round, but I'll have it attack this. So it'll take another 4 damage. It's very close to dying, but unfortunately, not quite there yet. So that's it for that, and I think that's it for the Keyraken's turn. Because it drew its cards. It has 2 cards in its archive. That's gonna be brutal, but I have 6 amber. It has nothing modifying my key cost, so I can go ahead and forge my first key, which is pretty nice that I can do that this early. And because of that, both of its primordial upgrades disappear. So that's also pretty nice. And we're on our way. First key down. I'm obviously calling Sanctum this round, because I'd be dumb not to. So I'll play my Potion of Invulnerability. This Potion of Invulnerability is so good. I love that card. I really like this deck in general. I think I got it when I was doing some sealed event online, and yeah, it's a solid deck. Okay, so now I can start building out what I like to call, what I dub the Armory. So I'll play them. They're gonna capture 2. And then I'll play them and them. And then them over here. Now why I call it the Armory, because one of the upgrades the Keyraken gets that's so annoying is the Titanic Maw, I believe it's called. It's the one that lets the Keyraken attack, and then it also does 3 splash damage. So it does 3 and then 3 to the neighbors next to it. So what I tend to do is this deck has a lot of 2 armor creatures. So what I try to do is lump them all to one side. So then like, so I'm done with my turn so I can ready everybody up. So for example, if I need the Keyraken to attack somebody, I can have him attack this edge guy. He'll only take 1 damage because of the 2 armor, and then the guy next to him will only take 1 damage because of the 2 armor. So it's like the best way I can mitigate that upgrade, because that upgrade doesn't go away if the Keyraken gets it until all my guys are dead, which hopefully won't happen, but it's something that happens with the Keyraken. So that's just something I've kind of picked up with this deck is just kind of keeping all of the armored people to one side. So if the Keyraken does have to attack with its jaw, it could just hit that armor and not do as much. Just picked up another huge key card for this deck. I gotta zoom in on this card. This card's insane. I don't know how this is what, only an uncommon? Professor Teredo? It's just each mutant creature gains Reap, draw a card. That is insane, because mutant, this is a mutant, and then I also have a, was it Dr. Bookton? And it's just a card that whenever you Reap, you can draw a card. So it's like with this out and that card, it's like you can draw 2 cards and still gain the Amber for Reaping. It's a pretty crazy combo. So that's one thing I would be gunning for with the logo section of this deck. But that was my turn. I did all my Sanctum stuff, and yeah, back to the Keyraken. High Tide, they still cannot advance even if they wanted to, because this creature, this Pismir, it's increasing the key cost for them. So right now with the High Tide, it costs them 8. And they're sitting at 2 Amber. So I'm doing pretty good on Amber control. Creature control, not so much, but I have a lot of guys out on my field, so we'll see. Unfortunately, they have 2 cards in their archive, so I have to draw those first, and then 2 more cards. So it's like they get 2 whole turns. Devour Hole, cool. Wait, and then the Swift Current, I'll just go ahead and place that. So Devour Hole, for the remainder of the turn, they get to attack the least powerful creature, which unfortunately is Squire, this person. So they will take 1 damage, but surprisingly not die. Yeah, then the other card was that. Then I still have to draw the 2 for their actual turn. Brutal. Oh gosh. This card, if the tide is low, heal 6 damage. If the tide is high, I gain 3 chains. Boy, I know I'm gonna forget about this chains. I always do. Let's see if I don't this time. Race to the Surface. So they get an Amber. For each time the Keyraken has advanced this game, it archives 1 card. I can draw that many cards. This is not advanced at all, so I'm sitting all right. At this point, all of his creatures are used, so it's going to Reap and Reap to gain 2 Amber. Then what is it at right now? It's getting up there. It's at 7. Then this one is going to attack the least powerful flank creature. going to take out whoever it attacks. But then finally the crushing arm will go down. So I guess I'll have it attack General Xavier, because I like Lieutenant Gorvinal, because they get to capture Amber whenever they, after I fight with a creature. Not even just them. It's pretty crazy. So I'll have them die. Crushing arm in return will also be taken out. And in return, the Keyraken, Keyraken will be taking 3 damage. Got my little Magic the Gathering health tracker here. So 3 damage puts them down to 27 health, and we're on our way. Oh, I should have used the Keyraken first. They were going to attack again to the least powerful creature, so they're going to take out Squire Eloise. So they're gone. This card is done for. I think that's it. So ready up their stuff, and back to me. So they have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I would need to somehow steal or capture 2 to stop them from advancing. Because that's still increasing the key cost. And the tide is still high, so it's going to cost them 8. Oh yeah, and this person's gone. I never finished getting them out of there. That's unfortunate. My battle line is dwindling pretty quick here. I mean, I think I want to go Logos. Yeah. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to call Logos. I'm going to play that Professor. Hopefully they don't get, like, taken out right away. Well, I'm going to try to protect them. Play the Adaptoid. I'm just playing creatures on this artifact line because I'm running out of space up here. Well, I guess I could scoot everybody down, but I have a little bit more room. So I'll place them up there. And then I'll place Lethologica. There's 2 of them, these cards in this deck. So maybe I'll be able to hit the other one. I'll gain an Amber. And let's see. So do I hit it? I'll just discard right into the discard. No. What did I get? A Demobot. Okay. I'll place them over here. Gain an Amber. Unfortunately, that's it. I couldn't stop them from surfacing. I mean, the Keyraken is going to at least surface once. I can't stop them from that. And if they're going to have to pay 8, that's a pretty good... I don't know, it's a pretty good cost for them to pay. You know, I'm not too upset about that. If it was like a low tide and I didn't increase it, they'd be paying 2 to advanced. I would not be happy about that. So it's unavoidable sometimes. I just need to draw back up because I'm done with my turn. So 1, 2, and 3. Guess it's looking like more like a Sanctum turn next turn. All right. It's a Keyraken, so they're gonna go 2, 4, 6, and 8. To advance their first of 4 levels. So once again, yeah, if the Keyraken does that 3 more times, they get to the surface and wreak havoc on everybody. So we don't want that happening, obviously. So yeah, it's back to their turn. Tide is low, drawing 2 cards. So we got Tide down. They gain an Amber. Put one of your creatures on the bottom of your deck. Okay. I don't know. I guess I will put this guy. Well, Adaptoid is gone. On the bottom of the deck. As long as Perfector Tarot isn't on the flank, I think I'll be alright. So Tied down, done. Drag to your doom. Purge your most powerful creature. See, this is what I was talking about. All my creatures are more or less 4 health except the Demobots, so I could purge any of them. I'm not like forced to purge my best one. I mean, unfortunately, I don't want to purge any of them. But I guess just the other, what is this, Celophus? They're gone. Celophoist? Yeah, they're gone. So that was that. Then the Keyraken and its creatures are used, so it's going to reap. Be up to 3 Amber. Then its creatures are going to be used. I should have raised the tide before any of this happens because now it's going to archive 2 cards. Because these are both going to reap. They're going to gain 2 Amber from that. And then they're going to be archiving 2 whole cards. That's fun. And then the Swift Current's going to be used. So the Keyraken's creature with the highest power captures 1 from me. And of course, I don't have my Fist anymore. This card wouldn't have stopped, I don't think, capturing. It only stops stealing. If I have no Amber, which I still do, so that artifact is chilling. Yeah, that's it for my turn. Or sorry, that's it for the Keyraken's turn. So now it's back to me. Low tide. I feel like I need to deal with that. I mean, yeah, because if not, they're going to forge, or they're going to ascend next turn. So gonna raise the tide first before I do anything. And yeah, I'll start throwing out some Sanctum cards here. So I'll start with this Commandeer. So that'll gain me an Amber, and I get to draw a card. Okay, I got my Niffle Queen. A little bit too late there, Niffle Queen, but that's all right. So after I play another card, a friendly creature captures 1 Amber. Sweet, because I got 2 more cards to play, so that's gonna work out good. I can deploy this Gray Fighter. I mean, I don't... And you can ready and fight with a neighboring creature. Okay. This is gonna... I'm gonna do some crazy stuff with Baldric here. The bold. He's gonna be bold, all right. So he's going to fight... That's gonna be good. So I'm gonna have Baldric fight the Slippery Arm. This Slippery Arm. So before the fight, if Baldric the Bold is fighting the most powerful enemy creature, which they are, I gain 2 Amber. Cool. So then Baldric's gonna fight the Slippery Arm. It's elusive, so it won't take any damage. Baldric has 2 armor, so it will be taking 1 damage. I will play the Grey Rider here. No. Yeah, I'll play him out there. And then, yeah, when I play them, I may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. So I'll ready and fight with Baldric again, fighting the Slippery Arm, same one. I'm fighting a most powerful creature, so I get another 2 Amber. And then this time, that thing is going to die. I will take another damage, but it's dead. And I get my Amber back. And then also, it does 3 damage to the Keyraken. So we're down to 24 health on the Keyraken. Then they exhaust. I fought twice, right? Once, twice so far. So Lieutenant, they capture 2. Because anytime I fight with a creature, they capture an Amber, which seems pretty absurd, but whatever. And then finally, I will play Smite. So I'll do that. I get to steal an Amber. Put on the Demo bot, I guess. Because I played that card and I played Commandeer earlier, I also get to capture another one, which I'll just put it on a different guy, I guess, this one. And then with this card, ready and fight with a friendly creature. I'll ready and fight with the Lieutenant. And I'll have them fight the Slippery Arm. Yeah. Or no, I'll reap first with them, because this lets me ready and fight. So I'll reap first, gain an Amber, and then use that to ready and fight. Attack the Slippery Arm. It has elusive, so it won't take any damage, but that's fine, because I'll still get an Amber I can capture. Because of their ability, I will be taking 2 damage, though. It's unfortunate, but it might be all right. Man, that was a good Sanctum turn. I had the Potion of Invulnerability I maybe could have used, and I was thinking about it, but I really like saving that for the end, kind of, when I'm trying to just wail on the Keyraken. I don't want to take any damage, so I'm going to save that for now. Maybe that was a mistake, but I mean, I didn't take that much damage. I took 2 there and 2 there. I think it could have been a lot worse. And I also have a lot of Amber now, and they have 0, so I think I'm in a pretty good position. I have 4 cards in my hand. I do have a Chain. I don't know if I had that last turn, but I will knock that down and draw back up to 5. I need to keep an eye on those chains. I always forget chains for some reason. So what am I at? 2, 4, 5. I'm good on my turn. Back to the Keyraken. It's High Tide. They have no Amber. They have 2 cards in their archives, so they're going to be playing Ascending Jet first, and then Whirlpool Eddy next. So unfortunately, lots of artifacts. Which right now, I do have a card in here that lets me purge an artifact, but I played that a while ago. I don't have too many cards left in my deck, so I might be able to recycle through them all and get to it. We'll see. That's it for their... Oh wait, that was just their archives. I forgot. I was like, oh, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, they still have to draw 2 more cards. Okay. So first card is Emergence. They get an Amber. Destroy one of my artifacts and exhaust 3 of my creatures. Well, there goes the Potion of Invulnerability, I guess. And I'll just exhaust all of my Sanctum creatures since I'm not calling Sanctum this turn. Wow, that card sucks. And it's the same card. So they get an Amber, destroy an artifact. I don't have any artifacts, so screw you, card. And then exhaust 3. I guess I'll have to exhaust all the rest of my creatures. I was gonna call Untamed, which I still will probably do, but now I don't got any creatures to use. The Keyraken will go, and they will reap, gain an amber. Their creature up here, they can reap, but since it's high tide, their little ability isn't going to trigger. And then Swift Current, they can use that. So they're going to use that to have the Slippery Arm capture. I think that's all they're doing on their turn. So I will ready all their stuff back up. It's back to me. Beginning of my turn, I do have enough amber to forge, so I will be forging my second key. Feeling pretty good about my pace so far. And then I'm definitely going to go Untamed because that's what my hand overwhelmingly is saying to go. So I will play the Niffle Queen. This Niffle Queen is a really good card in this deck. Gives a +1 power to each beast and Niffle creature. So it gives them themselves a +2. It boosts the Niffle Apes especially. I think there's 3 Niffle Apes in this deck. So that's pretty nice. I will just... yeah, I'll keep playing stuff, I guess, over on this side. I'll play the Niffle Ape. That lets me capture one. Throw it on the Niffle Queen. I'll put this Attendant kind of on the edge, and I'll put them over here. Once again, I kind of have to play some creatures on my artifact line because I'm like running out of room because I got so many creatures. And yeah, that's it for my turn because I can't really do much else. I can ready up all my creatures, but... that's about it. I'm feeling pretty good about my board presence. I got a lot of creatures. I don't think the Keyraken really has any board clears. So I still have 2 key chains. So drawing to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, where is that Professor, was it Bookton? I think that's what it's called. So I got 2, 2, and 1 cards in my hands. We'll see if that does me any good. Back to the Keyraken. They need 8 to advance. They have 4, so they cannot. No cards in their archives, thankfully. So they're only drawing 2 cards. Whirlpool Eddy. They're getting another Whirlpool Eddy. That can't be good. And left in its wake, getting another amber. Exhaust my most powerful creature and each creature you control that shares a house with it. The tide is high. Archive 1 adventure card. Tide is high, so I will archive 1 adventure card. Exhaust my most powerful creature, each creature that shares a house with it. So that would be definitely my Niffle Queen, so just all my Untamed creatures will be exhausted, which is fine. I wasn't planning on calling Untamed this next round, so could be worse. The Keyraken will go and reap. Slippery Arm will reap. Tide is not low, so its other ability will not activate, and now we got some artifacts here to use. So, first one, Whirlpool Eddy. Stun and exhaust one of my creatures that is not already stunned. Okay. Stun and exhaust one of my creatures that is not stunned. So I'm going to stun and exhaust, I guess, this 1 power there. Done. Give the Keyraken's creature with the lowest power 3 +1 counters. That's... Ascending Jet's going to get out of hand quickly. Well, it'll only go 1 more turn before exploding, so... And then Swift Current, that means that's the one that's just going to keep capturing. But it captures 1. I have no more ambers, so it will destroy Swift Current, and it will also lower the tide. Yeesh. But that's it for their turn, so I'm going to ready up all their stuff and go back to me. I mean, at this point, 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm not in a great position. I need to raise the tide and try to steal at least 1 from them. And I don't have a lot of options, I don't think, to do that. Okay, this may be a mistake. I'm going to go Logos. I'm going Logos. Can't stop me. I'm going to play this Fission Bloom. Just there. And then I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to Reap with Professor Pterodo. Gain an Amber. And because they are a mutant, because of their ability, I get to draw a card. There we go. That's what this is about. Lethologica. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to save that for a second because I'm going to use Demobot to Reap, gain an Amber. Because of Professor Tarot, I get to draw a card. Got another Niffle Ape. And then also because of Demobots, I can discard a card from my hand. And if I do, I can draw a card. I don't want the standardized testing, so I will get rid of that and draw a card. Okay. It was not a Logos card, so Put that on the end, and then I'll play some Lethalogica. Gain me an amber. Lets me capture an amber. Put it on, just on Niffle Queen, I guess. And I can discard cards until I reach the bottom of my deck. Ooh, there it is, the very next card. Bot Bookkin. That's the card I was talking about. So, and I put it in my hand. I can play them, but I can't use them this turn. So that's unfortunate. I think at this point, that's it. Oh, not yet. That's not it. I do need to spend 2 amber to raise the tide. So now, with this guy, it's raising their key cost. So it's going to cost them 8, and I stole 1, so they're at 7. I'm delaying the inevitable for just 1 turn, and I'll ready everybody up. Boom. I still have 1 more chain, so I will not be drawing any cards this turn, but I've lost those chains finally. And yeah, that's it for my turn. They have 2 cards, or just 1 card, I guess, in their archive. So they can't ascend, so let's see what they're doing. Behold its grandeur. The Keyraken gains 1 amber for each creature you control that shares a house with 1 or more of its neighbors. 1, 2, yeah, it's gaining the full 4 amber. That card is so annoying. I don't know any time I've had that activate and it hasn't gotten, like, all amber from it. So I'm glad it at least has the cap of 4, but still. What am I supposed to do about that? So now it's going to do Preternatural Will. The tide is high. I just got rid of my chains and I got them back. So I'm back to 3 chains. And then this is a Lashing Tentacle. Keyraken will go and reap. Like they don't have enough amber right now. The Slippery Arm will be used. It will just reap. It's not low tide, so it will not use its stupid little ability. I have to stun and exhaust 2 of my creatures that are not already stunned and exhausted. Boy oh boy, that's not fun. Because, okay, I guess Niffle, Ape, and I don't want to, like, hinder the untamed side of my stuff too much, but, like, Logos is where it's going to be. I don't... I guess I'll stun Lieutenant. They're just collecting amber anyway at this point, so that's done. Give the Keyraken's creature with the lowest power +3 count. Okay, so that's not going away this turn. It's just going to boost up the Lashing Tentacle. So that's it for their turn, so I'm going to ready everything back up. Whoops, I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. They have a ton of amber, so I think they might be ascending next turn. But that's fine. There might be something I could do to stop that. Yeah, I'm definitely going Sanctum this round. I'm just trying to figure out the order I want to do stuff. So I guess I'll go Free Markets first to draw a card, which isn't, unfortunately, Sanctum. I can do a damage. I don't know. I guess I'll just start working on that Slippery Arm. And then because of that, I gain 1 amber to a maximum of 6 for each house represented among cards in play, which I have 1, 2, and then they have 1, so that's 3. So I get 3 amber from that card. Then I will play General. I guess I need a new armory going. I guess I could put them over here. Well, yeah, I prefer him over here. My battle line is getting a little out of hand here, but that's how it goes sometimes, I suppose. And then I don't want to just throw this Bulwark at the end, but I can't just put him anywhere. So I guess I will just, I'll put him right here. I would have played him first and then put him, like, sandwiched him in between. And playing that card lets me draw a card. That is the last card in my deck. So I move my hand down here a little bit because I am just running out of space. Yeah, I got a lot of creatures, so that's good. We're sitting good on creatures. I do have a chain, so I will lose a chain. Well, hold on, I'm not done with my turn yet. I was about to just finish my turn. I have all my... So I'm gonna unstun this guy. Whoops. I will then... I don't want to attack with this guy because he's just gonna die. And I lost my potion of invulnerability. So I will reap and reap to gain 2 amber. Then, because of this, I can ready and fight with a neighboring creature. So I'll fight with this Dark Fairy. And when I fight with the Dark Fairy, I get to gain 2 amber. And the Dark Fairy has Skirmish. So that's pretty cool. So I can just deal 2 damage to whoever. And I'll just do it to the Lashing Tentacle, I guess, because I can't hit the Slippery Arm, because I don't think they still have their elusive up for this round. So now I think that's all I can do. Readying everything back up. I will be down to just 2 chains, and I have to shuffle my discard. I have enough to forge next turn, so does the key, or they have enough to ascend, so maybe I'll get my Potion of Invulnerability. Nope. Thought I would, but not so much. Back to the Keyraken's turn. They're definitely forging, or not forging, ascending. So what, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So they will do that and ascend to the 2nd level. Then, luckily they have no stuff in their archive, but the tide is low, and that's not great for me. They're going to draw their 2 cards, see how this goes. So first one, defend the Keyraken. Oh gosh. They gain an amber, and then ward the Keyraken and each of its creatures. Oh my gosh. This is brutal. And then race to the surface, it gains an amber. For each time the Keyraken has advanced this game, it archives 1 adventure card. So it's going to archive 2 cards. Cool, very cool. But I get to draw 2 cards, so suck it, Keyraken. Then they first reap. Then they will use both their creatures. The first one, the most powerful creature is what this is going to attack, which I believe is my Niffle Queen. It has skirmish, so it won't be taking damage in defense or in return. So it's just going to deal straight up 6 damage to my Niffle Queen. That's annoying. Then the Slippery Arm is going to go, and it will reap. So wait, that went. Then this is going to reap and get another card in the archive. So they will have 3 cards in their archives. Both Whirlpool Eddies are going to go off, so I have to stun and exhaust 2 of my creatures. I'm going to stun the General again, exhaust them, and stun... I don't want to stun anybody. I guess this other Sanctum guy. I don't know. It's gonna... Ascending Jet's gonna pop off and explode this time. It's going to bump up the Slippery Arm is what I'm going to do. So bump that up to a 9. This creature is just out of control. It is elusive. It has 9 health, 9 power. It's warded, but that's it. That's all for the Keyraken this turn, thankfully. And back to me. Top of the round, I can forge because I have enough. So 2, 4, 6. That is my 3rd key. The Keyraken officially has no armor. So at this point, I can just go at him. I just need to wail at this guy and try to finish him off. So I almost want to go like untamed and just try to wail into them as much as possible. I think I will do something like that. So I'll call Untamed, especially because I have 4 Untamed cards. I'll call Untamed. I'll first play Earthbind on the Lashing Tentacle, so they basically just can't use that creature ever again. Simple enough. It's done. I'm gonna move my keys down a bit to get more room to play creatures because I need more room, and I forged all my keys at this point. So I'm gonna play this guy, which lets me steal an amber. And this guy doesn't do anything. Niffle Ape. I just have so many creatures here. It's awesome. Now I'm just gonna start attacking. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Attack with this guy. 4 damage. I will take 3 damage in return from the Keyraken, but Keyraken is down to 20 health. And then I will attack, because that was a mutant. This gives a boost to beasts and Niffle creatures. Anything else can attack. This can attack, and it has skirmish. Ooh, so it will deal 2 damage to the Keyraken. And then, because I attacked with it, because of its ability, I get 2 amber. And then, what next? I guess I'll attack I'll unstun this Niffle Ape, so I can use them at some point. And then, I guess I'll attack with the Niffle Queen. Unfortunately, we'll take them out, but it's going to do 8 damage to the Keyraken, which brings them down to 10 health. And they're within striking range. They're going to get some more amber. Oh, shoot. They were warded. What did I attack them with first? Because they wouldn't have taken that damage. I think I would have made it the Dark Fairy. So they have 2 more health. I forgot about the ward. So that would have gotten rid of the ward, and that would have attacked with the other 2 next. Okay, my bad. I made a little mistake there. I'm gonna spend 2 amber to raise the tide, and I think that's all I can do. So I'm gonna ready everybody up and hope for the best, because I think next round it will probably be the last round. So let me draw back up to only 5, because I still have some chains left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our way. Keyraken is gonna go, it will ascend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. It is, whoops. It is ascended to the 3rd level. It is almost there, but I think I'll be able to stop it. It's gonna draw so many cards in its archive. 3. Keyraken gains 1 amber for each of your unforged keys. Doesn't matter. It raised, so the tide is low. So that really doesn't do anything, actually. Zealot's return, shuffle the adventure discard pile into the adventure deck. And then the Keyraken archives 3 cards. Okay. I'll try to do a quick shuffle, I guess. Okay, and then it archives 3 cards. Whatever. Done. Next. And the last one of its archived cards, the Evil and the Ranks, deal 3 damage to each of my flank creatures. So that would be you, so you take a damage. Ye Niffle Ape, gone. Okay, simple enough. It draws 2 cards. Shield Arm, exhausted, tied down. It gains an amber, put one of my creatures on the bottom of the deck. If the tide is high, do extra stuff. Just put my stunned beast creature on the bottom. I'm about to kill this Keyraken next turn. I just need to, oh, Niffle Queen is dead. I forgot about that. They're gone. Not bad. Back to them. The Keyraken is gonna reap. Then can't use that creature. It will reap and gain another card in its archive with this. And then it's going to stun and exhaust 2 of my creatures. I think I'm just going to have it stun Sanctum stuff, because I'm going to just try to go all out with Untamed this last round. So I think that's it for them. Ready up their stuff. And this is really it. This is the final countdown. Raising the tide just cause. And then, yeah, because I just need to do as much damage as possible. So, yeah, I just need to do 12 damage. And I could do 4, 8, yeah, I could just do 12 and they're dead, right? Attack, attack, and attack. That's it. With them, and them attacking, they're out of armor, they're not warded. The Keyraken is dead. So there you go. That was KeyForge, Rise of the Keyraken. I had a bit more success this time with this deck. Had a lot of fun playing this. I love KeyForge. I'm so glad it's on its way back right now. I think just as of yesterday, they announced their new campaign on GameFound. So check that out if you're interested in the game. I'll also link that below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you next time.